For every 2 times I go on, I say no 5.
I was about to ask,
based
like, what
on
are the
what the conversation is. And
Yep.
sometimes I'm like, nah, I can't be a part of that.
What's one circumstance that you turned him down on? I'm interested to know.
It doesn't matter. We take his word. We know him.
No,
Yeah.
I know. Just
I don't want to get into specifics, but I'll say this. I've turned it out based on the guest because I don't want to legitimize the guest or share space with the guest. And I've done it based on the way a topic is being produced, i.e., I'm not going to make it sound like, to Parks' point, that there's another side to this issue. Got it. You know what I mean? Like, there's no yes or no to Nazism. It's just wrong. So I'm not going to be on the other side because I don't want to make it sound like this is a debate anybody should be having. Mm-hmm. So by the time I got to the end, my thing was, and some people, I got all these, I sent you a couple, I think one of them, I got so many racist emails and tweets and which always happens when I go on TV, right? But this was very particular because people thought the right was, or the conservative racist right was saying like, he chimped out. That's what they always say, right? That's the language they use, right? That I chimped out over the N-word, that I got so upset about the N-word, and people missed the point. I wasn't angry at the prospect of hearing the N-word. I hear the N-word all the time, right? I was frustrated with Piers for trying to create a space to invite someone or dare someone to use that word because he shouldn't be able to do that. Right, like if I'm the only black, like again, if there were, it would be like me saying, yo, you won't say the B word, you won't say it, call him one, go ahead, right? Like who am I to invite you to do that to prove your sexist?
I feel like that was clear that's what happened.
But the problem, let me jump in
unless
again.
You don't want it to be.
But let me jump in again.
Is that what Piers did?
Let me just jump in again right here. The problem with what you're saying is that in 2025, a black person defending his right to not be called nigger by white people on TV is also a thing.
Yeah.
That part is a thing. So, yes, it could have been a thing if I got this white woman to talk how she telling me she talk. I see what the Pierce play looked like it could be. But what it ended up being has no place in 2025 also. And we do not need to watch our good brother, Mark Lamont Hill, who, might I add, is on absolute fire right now.
Word. Yeah.
You are on an absolute tear. And I know this because the fucking black conscious community is calling me. I have been on air for 10 plus years. They've never called me. So it's the thing now. And in that, come on, man, don't get me into all that. We got to protect, don't get me talking like my cousin. But
no, you're absolutely right to talk like
you
that.
are right.
But
you are right.
It's a reminder not to let my guard down. It's a reminder to always ask where I'm going to be, before I get there, who all going to be there. You know what I mean? And it's a reminder to draw boundaries, not just I drew a boundary in that moment, but I should have drawn it in a way where I didn't have to experience that.
Or at least find the little end video box on the Zoom.
Right.
No, I'm out of here, y'all.
Yeah.
Just consider just consider others. Just consider some others. You are well spoken, well thought out, and professional enough to carry yourself well wherever you go. But when you consider others, in content world, that clip did what it was supposed to do. Everybody posted it. Everybody got theirs. In the real world, when black people see it posted, each time it's posted is a
right.
Yeah.
It's another microaggression. Yeah. It's
Yeah.
another
No, that was macro.
Yeah.
That was fucking macro. It was a micro. Yeah.
Yeah, word.
And it pushes the boundary even further. Because when we have somebody on TV like Piers Morgan who basically, opens the door and gives this woman permission, dares her to call you that,
right.
and then she is looking like she's like, "Oh, you don't have to dare me. I'm ready." And you stop it. The next program or media outlet or whatever that wants to do that, it's going to happen. You know what I mean? And then it just gets.
That's a great point too.
Yeah.
And listen, we all got kids. We instill this in our children as to what it means to be a friend. And if you calling someone your friend who is encouraging you to get on bullshit or do some bullshit or not live in then that ain't a friend.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck about all this peer shit. If this is where you'll go in the name of content, while I'm present, I got to just step back and reassess how I view some of this stuff.
And I had to do that in that moment because I don't think his biggest intent was to expose the race. I think his biggest intent was to make ratings and content.
Trying to get a moment.
I agree.
He wanted a moment.
It was a moment.
And the fact that you would do that at my expense, whether you think black people are intellectually or morally inferior or not, that's not the only way I assess people's racism.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, you're willing to let this happen to me? That shit gotta mean
even
something.
past that, sometimes white people don't know when they doing it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think that was happening then too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
like,
you're right.
he might not have even seen that other POV that's there. He ain't able to.
Especially he's British.
Right. It wasn't until because when I said it, I know Piers, because Piers argues every point to the end, but when I said that to him, he said, I accept that.
Yeah. I was appreciative.
Yeah, I hated everything up to that, but I appreciated that he at least stood down on it. And that he didn't edit it out. Because the only reason in that moment I said, because people said, why are you so generous to him, saying, I know that's not your intent. The only reason I said, I know this isn't your intent, was not because I wanted to make him feel better. It was because I didn't want it to get edited out, and I didn't want to be cut out of it. And if he was held too accountable, he would have just cut the whole segment, which I think would have done more harm to me than anybody else. So, but yeah, so I was trying to be strategic even in that moment.
That's a lot of mental gymnastics.
Yes, and I was like, it's all for something I didn't even want to do.
Yeah.
You know, so
I'm curious. I mean, this is just, a speculative kind of question because, you're familiar with Candace and now you're familiar with Candace.
Yeah.
If you hadn't been on the panel, because you guys, consider her the line, and she'd been on the panel and this white woman had gleefully attempted to call her nigger, what would her response have been? And again, this is speculation.
I can't speak for anybody. I'm not.
I don't know. I don't know. That conversation would have gone differently because Candace is a different person, but I don't know. I don't know
what her stance on being called, a nigger is.
I think most people are kind of against it.
I also, listen, regardless of what you think of Candace, I think she's extremely bright.
I do too. I do too.
I am not going to say that she too is going to be in a space where someone is comfortable openly calling her a nigger. I haven't seen that, so I'm not going to assume that is plausible.
I don't think she would. I think that's her line.
But I mean,
I think that's her line too. I think she'd be on with Myron. I don't think she'd be on with.
But what if it was the same circumstance in which she did not know who the panel was going to be up until the last minute, kind of, in the same situation that you found yourself in?
I can't speak for what she would do. I don't know her well enough to assume what she would do in that instance.
But I do know that if she felt compelled to leave, she would nothing. I think she operates on her principles, even when I disagree with her. So I think if she felt like, yo, this is some bullshit, she would have left. If she felt that way, I don't know how she feels, but I think she would have left for sure.
She'd have got out of here like you did.
How many times have you been on Piers?
More times than I can count.
All right. Have they ever pulled a move like this before? Where it's we like, even when you asking, yo, who's on the panel? Oh, it's almost like they're intentionally not telling you. To trap you.
It felt like that, but also sometimes
don't sleep on other people recognizing your heat before you do too.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I think everything is in play.
Yeah,
everything is in play.
I'm thinking this is all a play, like from the rip.
That's interesting. I didn't think about that. That's a good point. I hadn't thought about it from that.
Mark, you on an absolute tear.
Yeah, they see that.
And the it's BBC. I'm saying it wrong.
Yeah,
what is it?
BBC.
And they know when somebody's
on
they
see
it. Like they got hundreds of years of experience in recognizing when somebody's on a tear. And who better to be on a tear than our bro? This is our guy, right?
So we can get it off on him.
This is our guy.
He ain't gonna think nothing.
That's like when the crime is going on and your informant is over there. You're like, wait, what?
Right. It's an easy one. Yeah. That's true. Because I didn't think anything of it.
Look at that.
Now that you mentioned, it was odd that they called me right. I mean, because that almost never happened.
That looked like a play.
Yeah.
Myron, niggas will beat the dog shit out of you, boy. Just so we clear.
See,
I don't know who niggas are, because it ain't me. Because I live a life of non-violence. However, somebody somewhere, nigga, that boy must got Zoom Platinum, Zoom Plus. All his shits is on Zoom. If somebody ever catch you like face to face,
it's not true. They was just speaking at a college.
No, they go to colleges. They go to them.
But what I'm saying is,
they go to them.
Well, look, what I'm saying is,
they travel in
and
states.
this is where I shift the blame to the people. Like all that rage baiting shit, we gotta stop falling for it, yo.
Yeah.
Because you build up like what network?
I agree.
That Pearson. I don't know.
Some British network.
All right, whatever it is, they don't know.